I'm here to deliver a little tea of what you saw on camera on Age of Attraction versus what actually happened, and some more context behind some of your favorite moments. I think it goes without saying that reality TV is very cut up and there's so much that you guys don't see, and ultimately what's going to be used is what fits the narrative that they're trying to portray. Okay, first and foremost, we've got Como Se Dice Gate. So how my newfound sense of bilingual was found in this moment. So off camera, prior to this conversation, Andrew and I were yapping about how I was super into improving brain function and preventing cognitive decline, how I loved Huberman Lab, and how I heard that learning a new language and something that really challenges you was a really good way to do that, and that Spanish was never my strong suit in high school. So when you're filming these conversations, you realize that 99% of what you're saying isn't going to be used. So that was just me yapping about something that made no sense taken out of context. Next up, we've got the Taylor Swift talk. On the speed dates, we're talking to 20 people for I think 3 minutes each, so my brain was fried. And the guy I was set up with on the speed date was telling me about how he loved playing piano and singing, and so I said, okay, you have to play a song, what's it gonna be? And he asked me it back, and I think I said something along the lines of how I learned piano when I was little, and I love Taylor Swift, so I would love to nail a Taylor Swift song on piano. Andrew said that his daughters liked Taylor Swift, and I was like, I love Taylor Swift, and that's how I got labeled as a crazy Swiftie who has no personality trait except for Taylor Swift. Which brings me to my next point, that entire fireside conversation post white water rafting with Andrew and I. We actually had an entire conversation, and then they called us over and said that it was all not recorded, so we had to start over. I was definitely struggling this day with all of the filming and being sleep deprived and super anxious. I mentioned this in one of my last videos, but Andrew and I were actually in a little love triangle situation, and he was talking to somebody actually his age that made way more sense on paper for him. So I fully thought I was kind of getting rejected, and for a while I was really apprehensive to open up because I had never dated an older guy and I didn't know his intentions, and I didn't want to come off naive by just divulging my entire life and past. So I wanted to get to know him first and make sure that I felt safe and secure before I fully let my guard down to a complete stranger on TV. Next up, my family and friends segment, where my girls Lauren and Nina came to clock me. I actually learned the day before that our family and friends were coming, and I had no idea walking in that room if it was going to be my family, my friends, his family. I was so thrown off that they were there, so that's when you just see me giggling profusely, and I already knew what they were going to say about the situation. But again, these things are so cut up. There was definitely like, this is Andrew, this is where he's from, this is what we've been doing. This is why I like him. This is why our relationship is so different than the guys that I've dated in the past. And I know a lot of people probably saw Nina and thought that she was super harsh, but that's just what our relationship is. Like, it's tough love. And to me, a good friend is someone who will stop you in your tracks and be like, hey, what are you doing? Let's talk this through. Was it an entirely intense interrogation? Yes. But did I also need to be brought down to earth? Yes. They run a strict program, but they're very supportive, and they were